Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this webinar live dedicated to the English degrees provided by Paris School of Business. My name is Mathile. I'm the Director of Admission here at PSB, and I have the pleasure to be together with Mathilde.
Hi, Loic.
Hello, welcome, Mathilde.
Hi, everyone. I'm glad to be here as well and to be able to speak to all of you.
So the aim of this webinar is to provide information about all the English degrees available here at Paris School of Business. You will notice that you can ask questions on the side. Only you as a user will see the questions, but we will reply directly into the chat. So feel free to ask any questions you may have. HR in the back office is here in order to reply to most of your questions. So you've seen a light video of Paris School of Business, and we will get into further details about our schools and the degrees available. So at PSB, we have about 4,000 students, including about 600 of them being from international. So we host a large number of international students coming from all over the world. More than 100 different nationalities. And in addition to international students, we also have international faculty, having faculty members from more than 40 different countries. So there is a strong international dimension of the school. And that's something you'll notice when you're on campus. Of course, you'll be studying with French and domestic students, but you'll have the opportunities to study, meet students from all over the world. So we have 6 different degrees available, but today we will focus on 2, mostly undergrad with our Bachelor of Business Administration and our Master of Science and MBA. So PSB, it was founded in 1974, so it's quite a young yet dynamic school in Paris. It's always been, and it's only in Paris, so we have a strong Parisian culture. Again, this is part of the DNA. It's a private business school, meaning we only deliver degrees in management and management-related areas. And we offer degrees in both languages, in French and in English, at undergrad and postgrad level. The quick story, founded in 1974, and from that time, the PSB has got all the national and international recognition and accreditation on the domestic level first. All our degrees are similar to the public universities degrees in France. And we also have the AACSB, AMBA, and EFMD Masters accreditation, meaning your degree is fully recognized in France as well as abroad. So if you decide after your study and once you become an alumni of PSB that you want to go back to your home country or to any other country, your degree will get the labels, international labels, meaning that they can be easily recognized. And PSB is also one of the few French business schools ranked within the Financial Times. So this is part of the ranking for the last 2 years, and we are among the top business schools at European and world level, thanks to accreditation and rankings. So regarding the school, we are part of a network called the Galileo Global Education Network, which is one of the top network of higher education providers. You'll notice that most of the schools so far are based in France, in many areas, from IT to communication all the way to arts. But we also have member schools in Spain, in Mexico, in Africa, Norway, Italy. And then again, it's a strong opportunity for you as students, because as part of your degrees, you will have the chance to study, to work, to collaborate on projects with students coming from those schools. So even though you wish and you're enrolled to study management, you can work on project, hackathon, challenge, business game with students that wish to become to work within arts, within IT, within engineering. So there is a strong possibility to collaborate in different fields, different areas. We have a mission, quite simple. It's to make sure that you become a manager, available to be agile, available to work in any type of organization, private, for-profit, non-profit, and so on. And that's made possible by strong values, as you see, pluralism, agility, responsibility, inclusiveness, singularity. That's something, values that you can, that you do feel once you're on campus, once you study here at PSB, because they are part, again, of the DNA of most of our degrees when you're international students here at, within the school. So we spoke about the programs. We have different programs: undergrad, postgrad, extension, which are mostly non-degree, and executive, thanks to MBA and Doctorate of Business Administration. So the first program that may matters for you is what the BBA, the Bachelor of Business Administration, which is a 3 years bachelor degree. Available in French or in English, with 2 intakes in fall and spring. And this degree is so 3 years, with the opportunity to major within 5 different specializations during the 3rd year, allowing students to gain strong management skills in a specific area. So the 2 first years are mostly dedicated to gain fundamentals of business and management skills. Students can get all the basic knowledge in marketing, finance, accounting, and so on. And during year 2, during year 3, sorry, they need to select one of the major where they will focus in the field they wish to enroll for. So the bachelor is fully recognized and allows students to gain entry into master at master level. Can be done at PSB. Within our Master in Management or our Master of Science. But of course, it can be done in your home country or in a different country. We have lots of students that once they are graduated of the alumni of the BBA, decide to study at master level in the UK, Australia, or anywhere else. As part of the BBA, students can also study abroad. We know that it's not always what internationals decide to do, because they come from you come from your home country, you study in Paris. But keep in mind that you can also, as part of the BBA, study abroad and join one of the more than 150 partners worldwide. So that's an opportunity for you, even though you decide to study in Paris, to do 1 semester or 2 in the US, in Australia, in Spain, Canada, and so on. We have postgrad programs. So the main one is what we call the Master in Management, or in French, Grande École Programme, which is the flagship degree here at PSB. It's a 2 years degree with specific majors in French and English. So the first semester of the 4th year is kind of fundamentals and allows students with no business background to join this degree. And it's during the semester 2 of the 1st year and the 5th year that student can join one of the majors. And you'll notice that there are a few majors in English: arts and cultural management, luxury management, international business, or international finance. All the other majors are delivered in French, but for those that wish to do a 2 years degree, that's a good opportunity to join one of these major. In addition to the Master in Management, we have, of course, Master of Science in different topics. So then again, the first semester of the MSc is quite we gain the fundamentals in management, and then you major. You study in the field of the major you've selected. So we have Master of Science in Arts and Culture Management in order to train managers within the art industry. You have Master of International Management, which is a degree mostly dedicated to students with an undergraduate degree, in technology, engineering, wishing to get management skills. Arts and cultural management, dedicated to that specific industry, which is a double degree with one of the Galileo school dedicated in arts. And then you have two major. One is art management, and the other one is performance, art and performance. So within this degree, you can select one or two major. Performing arts. The Master of Luxury and Fashion Management, well, when you're in the capital of luxury, such as Paris, then again, it's a strong opportunity to gain not only management skills in that area, but to be within one of the top and most famous city for luxury. So this degree is dedicated to those willing to gain specific skills in luxury and fashion management. In an international marketing and business development, which is mostly for students willing to gain specific skills in marketing and sales. Hospitality and tourism. Then again, it's dedicated to hospitality, tourism, and part of you have the chance to study in one of the most visited countries in the world and join and take part in classes with industry leaders, professionals of that industry. International finance. Purchasing, supply chain management, then again, mostly and often dedicated to students with an engineering background wishing to gain specific skills in that area. Marketing strategy and data analytics, which was launched a couple of years ago based on industry requests, because we know that data and people that master data are more and more hired by companies. So we decided a few years ago to launch a degree, and it's been quite popular among students at both domestic and international level. And executive program, MBA, Master of Business Administration, which requires 3 years professional experience, and it's a 1 year full-time MBA delivered in English. So most of those MSCs are available to students with either a 3 years or 4 years undergrad degree. There are 2 intakes, one in September, one in Jan, and it is available when it comes to admission. Mathilde, let me.
Thanks, Loïc. So yeah, so as Loïc explained, so there are quite a lot of programs that are available for students looking for an international program. So 100% in English. I saw a lot of questions from students who are interested in French programs, which we also have. But the focus of this webinar is really on fully English programs, so the BBA, the MSc, and the MBA. So in order to apply for this program, so the admission procedure is quite simple. You will be required to submit different items. So we have an application form that can be sent to you through our application team, who's here to assist you. So the application form, you'll have to fill it out, and you'll have to submit a few other documents. The main documents that you have to submit are, of course, a resume to know a little bit what your academic background and professional background is. A motivation letter showing why you want to join PSB, why you want to join this specific program. It's very important for us to know your interest and why you actually want to join the school. And of course, the copy of all your diplomas that you actually got since high school. So your high school diploma and all the degrees that you got since then. Transcript, of course. So if you could, it's mandatory to have it either in French or in English in order for us to understand, obviously, because there are some particularity in each of your countries. In addition, because it is a program that is fully in English, you will be required to submit language tests, so TOEFL or IELTS, which are the most recognized one. We require a level of 70 for the TOEFL and 6 for the IELTS, as it is fully in English. So I recommend that you actually work on that, because it's very important, especially in the admissions procedure, that we need to make sure that you have the sufficient level in order to apply for the program and to get the highest chances to succeed, of course. So Loic just shared the application form. Feel free to download it, and this will all make sense. All the things that I'm saying to you. In addition to that, I mean, in terms of the procedure, so as I said, it's very simple. You have to submit the application form. You will then be contacted for an interview. So if the application form is for sure complete, if you have all the documents required, you will be contacted by Echa, who's actually behind her computer answering all your questions, and she will contact you to schedule an interview. This interview can be done, of course, online, because most of you will be far away from France. So you will be contacted to schedule an interview at your convenience with one of our teachers to validate your application, to make sure that you have the right profile and the right requirements to join the program. Once you do the interview, within 1 to 3 weeks, we usually say between 7 to 10 business days, you will receive the results of your admission, saying if you're accepted or not in the program. We will also send, of course, the enrollment form in order for you to then be able to enroll in the program. So in terms of, the people that will be, I mean, all the services that will be available once you join the school. So once you actually complete the application, do the interview, and is accepted in the school, there will be quite a lot of services at your service, of course, to make sure that your stay and your arrival in France is as easy as possible. So we have a strong network of partner institutions, of course, in France, but also abroad. So as Loic said, you would be able to do an experience abroad if you're interested in doing that, especially in the BBA program, for example. So we have a strong partners in many, many different countries. So it's important to have that in mind when you join PSB. 51 different countries, 165 partner university across the world. On top of that, we have, of course, powerful link with companies. So it's important to have partnership with universities, but it's also important for you to know that we have partners with companies, because you will be able, if you join the BBA, the Master of Science, or the MBA program, to actually do internships during your stay in France in some of the most well-known companies in France. Here are some of them, of course. Here are the companies that are quite well known in France and where students usually do their internship. And some of our alumni also are working in those companies. So they usually transfer us different, internship alerts, etc., different jobs that, of course, will be given to you. In terms of student life, so once you join PSB, once you arrive in France, you will obviously be welcomed by the whole team here, the whole academic team, but you will also join a very dynamic student life. We have a lot of different associations. We have around 10 to 15 associations on campus. We also have the student office, we have the sports office, the arts office. So you will be able to join one of those associations and to actually participate in the life of the campus and to develop as well your work experience. Because as you can see here, there's a big budget for association, and you'll be able to actually invest in different projects, different programs, and actually already gain the work experience that you will need for your future career. So this is this is something that we really focus on at PSB. These are some of the projects that were organized by some of the association here on campus. As I was saying before, in terms of the partners that we have in companies, we also have a huge network of alumni. So as Loic says, in the beginning of the presentation, we have thousands of alumni around the world, so working in companies both in France but also worldwide. And it's very, very important to actually get in contact with them through the LinkedIn page that you have here. They also have different ways to communicate with them. 15,000 alumni around the world. it's important to contact them because they have, you know, recommendations, or they can share their experience that they actually lived here in Paris. As I said in the beginning, we have dedicated staff who will be welcoming you on your first day, of course, but also will be able to help you before your arrival. Before you will arrive, you will receive a few documents. Here are some of the documents that will be transferred to you. So a document to tell you a bit more about what it is to study in Paris, what it is that the experience that you'll be living. A pre-departure guide that will help you in terms of all the administrative procedure that you have to do before you get to France, which is very important. And I know that some of them might get a bit worried about that, but you will get assistance on that as well. And I know that there were a few questions on accommodations in the chat. We have an accommodation guide that we can send you to give you tips and recommendations on how to find accommodation in Paris. And we actually have Leo Cormier, who's our student experience officer, who will be able to help you for all the procedures that you have to go through before you arrive in France and once you arrive in Paris. So it goes from visa application, finding accommodation, because we know it's very important for your visa application, but also getting a phone, getting the internet, getting your Navigo pass, your transportation pass, getting registered at the Social Security. There are many, many things that you will be doing once you arrive in France, but Leo will be able to help you in you know, making sure that it's as easy as possible for you to do so.
Thank you, Mathile. So yeah, you know, you understood. Welcoming, hosting international students, it's something we've been doing for a while at PSB. We have strong experience about that, in addition to all the English degrees provided by our schools. So just to get back on PSB and the campus, you've seen a short video in introduction. So PSB is located on the campus within 2 schools, a business incubator and a financial trading room. And we are located in the south of Paris, on the 13th district, and which is a district and a school which is very well served by public transport. So it's very easy to commute to our campus. We have the metro, tramway, buses, and so on. So it's very easy to come and visit campus, which is based within Paris. And it's important if you decide to study in Paris, when you select a school, to make sure that it is in Paris and not on the outskirts, because sometimes it can be time-consuming to travel from one place to another. And for you as a student, it's the city life is more dynamic within Paris than on the outskirts. It's part of the 13th, which is not the most touristic area, but it's a very dynamic student district located close to other institutions, universities. We are very close to many attractions. We have a campus with typical classroom, more like a project-based classroom, because as part of the BBA MSc, you will be working mostly on project-based learning. Collaborative classrooms, of course. We have many, 2 food options on campus, including 1 cafeteria, in addition to the other options you have outside. Again, you can find any type of food close to the campus for lunch and dinner. Co-working spaces when you need to study. And Mathile, maybe you want to share a bit about the location as well and what's around campus?
Sorry, I had to put my microphone. So in terms of the location, so we are inside Paris, which is quite, quite rare in terms of the schools that you can find in Paris and outside Paris. So we are located in the 13th arrondissement, 13th district, which is on the southeast of Paris along the left bank. So we're really close to the River Seine, actually. And as Loïc said, it's very, very well connected. So you'll be able to get into the center of Paris within 10-15 minutes max with the public transportation. So it's very easy. So you are located inside Paris, which is something that I know is very important for all of you to be in the center. Oops. Yeah, so we are in the 13th district, as I was saying. So it's called Chinatown, as you could see in some other big cities in the world, like New York, etc. So it's called Chinatown because it's a district where there's a huge population of Chinese people that actually decided to definitely move to this district. There's another district in Paris also called Chinatown, but the 13th is quite well known, where you can have supermarkets, where you can buy Chinese food. So of course, when you go around the school, you will find quite a lot of places to eat very, very good Chinese food, but Asian food in general, Thai food, Korean, etc. So it's very well known for this specificity. This district is also quite innovative and quite dynamic in terms of companies. There's what we call Station F, which was created a couple of years ago by one of the big company owner here in France that created a phone company. So it's a big incubator where there's a lot of startups. So big new companies, if they want to launch their company, they can actually rent a space in this location, and they have a lot of help in order to create their company and to make it successful. So it's very dynamic, and it's located 15 minutes walk from the school. You also have, as I was saying, the Seine River, just a few minutes walk or by public transportation from the school, which I believe is definitely a must go, especially in the summer, because there's a lot of different bars, restaurants that you can go to and relax. So it's a very nice area to be in, especially on this side of the city. So as we were saying in the beginning, it's very well connected, and you have the French National Library, which is one of the biggest library actually in Paris and probably almost in France, with what we call the BNF, which is only 10 minutes walking distance. So especially for you as students, it's very important to know that you have these sorts of facilities that are located very close to the school. You will have a library inside the school, of course, but it's quite small compared to this one. So feel free, when it's a really nice place to go and study and you know to work there, and you are right next to the river, so it's a very nice location. You will find as well, I don't know if Loic, you know probably a bit also as well on that, but it's a very artistic neighborhood where you have all those street arts, all those street artists who are doing paintings on the wall. So it's a very specific area, and I'm sure you will definitely enjoy it if you come to Paris.
Indeed. So you've noticed many recognized degrees in different areas at different level, from BBA offered in English to Master of Science and MBA. We have lots of questions on the chat. Many of them are related to level of English. Mathile, maybe you want to explain to future applicants what kind of test we need and whether everyone needs to provide a test. Thinking mostly of a native speaker, of course, who may not need an English test. No mic.
As I said in the admissions procedure, sorry, so we definitely require a language test. Of course, if you're not native, if you're a native English speaker and English is your first language, definitely you don't have to provide a test. This is definitely logic. But if you're not if you're a non-native speaker in English, you will have to provide either a TOEFL test or an IELTS. We also accept TOEIC if some have this this certification yet. But as I said in the beginning, it's very important for us to make sure that you have the sufficient level of English in order to follow the classes and in order for you to succeed in your bachelor or in your master's degree. So if you're a native, you don't have to provide it. If you're a non-native, then it will be TOEFL, IELTS, or TOEIC.
Yes, and I'm going to share, because there are many questions, the opportunity to set up an appointment with one of the counselor here at PSB regarding the whole admission process. So if you have any specific questions, you can set up a day, time, we'll call you back, and then we can see on the individual basis, we'll reply to most of your questions regarding degrees, admission process, life at PSB Paris. Mathilde, quick questions, many questions regarding scholarships as well.
Yeah, that's
from
what
international
I figured.
Students.
So yeah, so scholarships. So we do provide scholarship on a obviously on a case-by-case basis. So depending on your profile, I mean, you would need to submit a motivation letter in order for us to identify if your profile or your academic background or your personal background actually qualifies for scholarship. So it's not something that is quite common. But if you have like an excellent academic background, there's a team that will meet and will study all the different scholarship application. And scholarship usually are between 500 and 2,000 euros maximum. So it will be deducted from your tuition fees. But this is after a commission actually meets with the directors, etc., and analyze all the scholarship applications.
Yep, many questions regarding work rights. As once you arrived in Paris, and as long as you're enrolled as a student here at PSB, you have the opportunity to work beside. It's only part-time, and you have to keep in mind that it can only be for like a basic job, just mostly to pay some expenses in Paris. It's wise not to expect to find a job, to be honest, because you never know what may happen. We've noticed it with COVID when we're in lockdown. So it's wise not to count on a job. It's better also, even if you have time, and our admission team will let you know when you apply for your visa. The embassy expects you to have the capacity to finance your studies on one side and cost of living on the other side. So if you have the opportunity to work, it's mostly a bonus for you for your expenses while in Paris. And I've seen questions regarding post-study rights. Students that do graduate the MSc, so after their studies here at PSB, can apply for what we call APS here in France. And they have the opportunity to get a visa after their study in order to get a full-time position. And based on specific condition, they may be able to extend, but that's something that depends of the French authorities and not of PSB. But our degrees being fully recognized, you will have the opportunities to apply for that visa.
There were a few questions as well on credit transfer. I saw in the question box. So credit transfers are possible for BBA programs. We accept it. We accept it, and we would ask you to fill out a credit transfer form and to submit all your transcript. I mean, showing what you've done so far. And then we will evaluate and decide how many credits you can actually transfer to your studies here at PSB. So this is only valid for BBA programs, so the Bachelor of Business Administration. For the MSc or the MBA, we don't provide credit transfer.
Indeed. I've seen questions about apprenticeship. Then again, Mathilde, maybe you want to explain what degrees are available for apprenticeship, and maybe the requirements. I'm thinking of language mostly.
So apprenticeship, I mean, in terms of the international programs that we presented today, both the BBA and the Master of Science, they're not available with apprenticeship. If you want to join a program with apprenticeship, it will be the Master in Management that Loïc as well presented in the webinar, but it's part of our French program, I would say, and not the international program. So these Master in Management are available for the last 2 years of masters. So it's a 2-year master, and you would be able to do it in apprenticeship. We have only 4 different specializations that are available in English. All the other ones are in French. And in that case, you will need to have at least a B2 level in French in order to join these programs. You have to be aware as well that in order to join a program with apprenticeship, you will need to have a sufficient level of French, because in order to find an apprenticeship in a company, companies will usually ask you to have a good level of French, because this will be probably the language that you will use on a day-to-day basis. So it's important to have that in mind. In order to find both an internship or an apprenticeship in France, you have to have a good level of French, which is usually B1, B2 recommended.
Yep. And many questions regarding the MBA, the Master of Business Administration.
Yeah.
So the MBA is a full-time degree, 1-year degree with 2 intakes, one in September, one in Jan. And it requires 3 years at least of professional experience at managerial level, meaning it can be in any field, but you have to provide proof that you've been, you've acted and operated as at management level for at least 3 years in order to join the MBA, which is fully, again, accredited by AACSB and AMBA. So there are specific requirements. We do not require GMAT. As Mathile said, all applications are processed in the same way. You need to provide a full documented application, and then you will be contacted to do an interview with the program leader in order to make sure that you have the right skills and knowledge in order to join one of our degrees. Of course, this interview is done online using Teams, Zoom, and so on. So you do not need to come to France in order to sit that interview. Mathile, many questions regarding the deadline?
Yeah.
Application?
So we have now started to take applications for the September 2022 intake, so the fall intake. So feel free to send our applications to us. We'll be more than happy to study them. Of course, I would say the sooner the better. It's always better to apply sooner than later, especially because most of you are abroad and you will have to go through visa procedures. So it's really important to take enough time and to plan enough time ahead of time in order for you to go through the visa procedure. So we always recommend at least to apply 3 to 4 months before the start of the program, in order for you to then go through the visa process and arrive on time for the start of the program. So as I said, right now we're reviewing applications for the September 2022. You can also apply for the January intake if you're mostly interested in the January intake, but we usually don't usually stop applications, but usually after, 2 weeks before the program is a bit is usually when we will only take students that don't require a visa. So as I said, 3 to 4 months before the start of the program would be best for you to apply if you have to go through visa applications.
Yes, indeed. And to reply to one of the questions, you do not need to have completed your current degree to apply. That means you can do it now. For example, in the 3rd year of your bachelor degree, you wish to do a master at PSB, you can apply now. And if you're admitted for the master, it will be based upon completion of your undergraduate degree within your home country or current institution. So do not wait, because we know that sometimes the outcomes, or at least the final transcript and the graduation certificate, can be provided quite late by some institutions. And as Mathile said, the sooner you apply, the sooner you get the interview, the sooner you get the outcome of your application, and the sooner you can apply for your student visa to travel and study in France, in Paris. So the sooner the better. And that way you can successfully organize your trip to Paris and PSB, should you be, of course, admitted. Questions regarding the accreditation? Maybe, Mathile, you can just explain the different accreditation.
Yes, so as we mentioned in the beginning, so Paris School of Business has both the national and the international accreditation. So the most important one for you would definitely be the AACSB accreditation, which is the American organization that actually recognize the different business school anywhere in the world. So this is the main accreditation, so AACSB. We also have an accreditation for the MBA program, specific to the MBA program, which is AMBA, which is also as well for the ones who are interested in the MBA program is quite an important accreditation for you, especially if you want to continue your studies as afters, or if you want to work. I think apart from that, especially on the international program, the most important will be the AACSB, the double AACSB accreditation.
Yes, indeed. Only, one of the most important, the most recognized worldwide. Few only institutions have the chance to get all those labels. Again, your degrees are recognized in France by the local authorities. That's important because that's needed in order to apply for a post-study work visa here after your studies, so you wish to stay in Paris. And again, PSB, Paris School of Business, is ranked within the Financial Times ranking for the last 2 years. So that's very important when you select a school. If it's not PSB, it can be, of course, another one, but always make sure if you want to study business or management, that the institution you will select owns those accreditation and allows you to get the post-study work visa after work. Heaps of questions regarding the tuition fees. You can download, you can find the cost on the tuition fees on the application form I sent. It's on the website as well, because tuition fees depend on the type of the degrees and based on the past academic studies, whether you've done 3 years or 4 years bachelor degree. So we forwarded all the details and brochure. Most important, if you have specific questions, I recommend you set up an appointment. It can be done, of course, by distance. I will share the link again right now. Mathilde, if you had, before we end this webinar, if you have one advice to provide to students keen to apply, what will it be?
Well, first is to work on your application and to make sure that you put your best at it, especially in the motivation letter, just to show us how motivated you are to come to Paris and to join our program and join PSB in particular. And we'll be more than happy to study it. And as I said, my first advice is to inquire and to apply as soon as possible. In order for everything to be as smooth as possible for you before you arrive, and then once you arrive in France. It's in terms of visa, but also in terms of accommodation. I think this is the best for you, not to wait until the last minute. As Loic said, you can apply even if you're not, even if you didn't complete your required degree. So feel free to apply as soon as possible.
Well, thank you, Mathilde. Thank you all for attending this webinar. There'll be more webinars in the future with different, with students, with faculty members, with different stakeholders of the PSB community. So I recommend you you follow us on the social network. Always check on the website for the next webinars. We will keep replying to all your questions within the chat. And I've just shared 2 minutes ago the opportunities to set up an interview, to set up a meeting, with one of our admission counselors. In case you have specific questions, it will be easier to reply to your all specific questions. Well, thanks a lot for attending this webinar. Thank you, Mathilde.
Thank you very much, and thank you everyone for being here.
Thank you so much for your time. All the best to you wherever you are, and let's hope we look forward to seeing you at the next September intake. So just like we said, the sooner you apply, the sooner you get the outcome. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Imagine you're walking in the streets of Paris, smelling the fresh bread from the boulangerie, hearing the small conversations of the people sitting at a terrace, drinking a glass of wine, and relaxing.
This has been my life for the past 2 weeks. Last semester I decided to join PSB, Paris School of Business.
During my time at PSB, I've had the opportunity to learn from an international faculty with incredible backgrounds and to share time with classmates from all around the world.
Having a picnic at the feet of the Eiffel Tower, visiting the gardens of Versailles, hanging out at the Seine Dock and enjoying the sunset over Notre Dame. These have been all my experiences.
I stopped imagining Paris and decided to come to have a real taste of it. Learning, traveling, and creating lifetime friendships. PSB, Paris School of Business, has allowed me to live the magic of Paris.